Hello, friends. Welcome to Squaird Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today we're going to be designing my faith planner for the month of October. We'll be setting up all my monthly and weekly pages in a single theme, so come plan with me. And I've got some brush markers here ready to go, along with some various washi tapes I'll be using, this set of stamps and some ink. Also, this little booklet of vellum papers I may use. This set of die-cut branch stickers. These label stickers also. And these Happy Planner sticker books, which I'll pull from. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with the weekly spreads. And I'm just going to lay down some wax paper so we can map out how these are going to look. I like to start with the weeklies just because those are the most repeated spreads in my month. So I want to make sure that I kind of figure out the theme before I get too far in with the rest of the pages and make sure that I can cover all 4 or 5 weeks of the month with the decor. So I am going to be using these branch stickers that I got from Journal Say in my haul back in the spring. Really like these stickers. They're really very delicate and fine, and I really like the colors too. Thought that would be perfect for a mid-fall spread. I'm also mixing it with some paper washi tape that I have there. Also purchased during that Journal Say haul. I think a lot of the items actually that I'll be using is from Journal Say. But anyway, so I'll be using that as a little bit of a background. And then I got this fall collection of different ephemera and got these stamp-like label stickers as part of that ephemera pack. So I'm going to try to pull those in for a little bit of color. Really thought that the colors were pretty unique as far as being fall, but pastel in tone, which I think will work really well with these delicate branches, which also have kind of a light fall color, but not overwhelmingly bright. Also, there is some gold mixed in with those stamp stickers. So I went into my Happy Planner sticker books and found this Grateful sticker book, which has some gold elements that I thought would pair well. It's not a true faith sticker book, but I think that the quotes about gratitude and thankfulness will work well in this faith planner. And the addition of the kind of bold gold quote, I think really helps elevate this spread. So I'm mixing that in. I'm also trying to add in some of the washi tape for a bit more added color. Wasn't sure if I wanted to layer all of the 3 colors that I pulled or just maybe 1 color per spread. We'll just play it by ear, see what works out best. I'm also layering in some washi tape that has a gold mail theme, like almost like a travel theme overlay, which I thought kind of matched well with the stamp vibe that I was doing, as well as the washi tape here that I'm using as the background, which also has like a mail postal look to it. So I'm going to lay out all 5 weeks on this one spread using each of the quad boxes as a single week. And I'll basically just put it in that upper left corner of each week and use the rest of the boxes for lettering the verse of the day. So I do like to have those boxes open and unencumbered. So I usually just put decor in that very first top left box each week. So it just makes it a little easier to map it all out here all at once on one page so I can get an idea of how each of the weeks will look and what elements I need to add to each week to keep that theme consistent throughout. You can see that I'm bringing in a little bit of the same things on each week. The background washi, the branch, the layered washi with a color and a gold option, also a stamp label, and the gold quote sticker on each spread. So I think that'll really be the overarching theme throughout the entire month. And I really like this light, delicate look for my face planner. So let's go ahead and start moving things over. I'm going to go ahead and move over this one first. I am trying to make sure that I separate out the quotes. There were 2 quotes that said enjoy at the front. One said enjoy today, and I think the other one said enjoy life. So I want to make sure that those ones are separated throughout the month. I don't want them next to each other. So we're going to start with the enjoy today and then just move that whole cluster over into its week. And now we'll move on to the next spread, which will be this grateful one. What I ended up doing was actually using one washi tape color on each spread. So what I'll probably end up doing is matching up my brush pen each week to whatever that washi color is, just so that it has a little bit of a continuity on the week and I don't have to kind of mix up the colors. That's what I envision doing. I might change my mind once the month starts, but I think that that would be the cleanest and end up being the cutest in the end if I just do each week in its own color. And if you really want to see how I am using these spreads, I do monthly flip throughs at the end of each month. So you can kind of see the after the pens on all of my spreads. Specifically, if you really want to see how I am lettering in here, you can kind of see how it all comes together in the end and get a real feel for the final output each month. So we've got them pretty much all moved over, just one more here left to go. One thing I really like about these PET taped style stickers are how repositionable they are. They don't stick down hard to the page, so it makes it really easy to make adjustments if you need to. And they're also opaque, so it's like they're painted on top of plastic, so the transparency feature really isn't there. And I really love that about it because it gives more depth and dimension to your spreads when you can kind of see the layering of the stickers versus them blending together like you would see on some other transparent stickers. So, okay, we've moved on to the next spread that we're going to tackle, which is going to be the monthly spread. And I'm just going to pick out some more of those branches to use here on this spread. I think what I'm going to end up doing is moving these sideways, this background washi, just to fill the space a little better. Since there are some empty days at the front and the back of the month, I think that'll just work out nicely. And of course, I'm going to think about all those elements that I used on the weeklies and trying to bring those in wherever they fit. So we'll get those clusters going. We've got this top one kind of situated. Let's figure out what we're going to put down here on the bottom. I did notice that some of the branches are a little more full looking versus the ones that I use mainly on the weeklies that had a little bit more of like a delicate look to them versus these ones here. I'm trying to keep like with like. So the branches that had a lot of fullness, I want to use those on the same spread. And the delicate ones, I'll use those together on their spreads, if that makes sense. So that it just keeps things looking a little more consistent. And I definitely want to add in some washi here, but I don't want to kind of overload any one area. So I'm going to rip it down in half and just spread some of that color all throughout the month. I do fill these out pretty fully. Each day I usually put in a application of my Bible reading, so just like a small takeaway from the reading that I can apply to my life. So I want to make sure that I have enough room to do that, keep this spread functional. So we're going to try to keep the washi tape lower profile wherever I can. But I do want to have a little bit of all of those elements that I had on the weeklies on this monthly. So I am going to try to pull in all of the features wherever I can fit them. I do need another one of those gold quotes, so we're just going to choose one and bring it in somewhere, wherever it fits. And I like this one. It is a little bit harder to read when it's layered on top of things, but when the light catches the gold at the right angle, it like almost gleams white and makes it a lot easier to read. I have a love-hate relationship with foiled stickers for that reason. I tend to either really like it or really hate it, depending on the application. With that bold gold, it will be very hard to read at certain angles, but then, like I said, I think it will really pop at others when the light hits it just right. So I'm not too mad about it. I do like the way that the gold matches up with the elevated look of this spread, the delicate features of the stickers I'm using here. So I think it is a good combination of gold with these fall colors. Plus, gold always works well in the later seasons, the holiday seasons, I think. We are dropping in now this upper corner, and I will trim off any excess, but realized I had put it in kind of offset, so I needed to reposition it. And like I said before, those PET tape stickers, the branches are PET tape. Those are just really a joy to reposition without any issues. It never ends up picking up paper or anything like that. It usually moves very smoothly, so I really do enjoy working with those types of stickers. And now we'll just drop in the rest of the washi tape I have set out. Maybe shorten up a few of these just so that they look a little cleaner. Yeah, and trim off any excess hanging off of the pages. So that all looks really good. Let's try to finish this out with all 3 of the remaining pages on one wax paper. It's a little bit of a stretch, but I think this will work. Let's go ahead and figure out how to set up this overview spread and then the back page as well. The overview spread I use for habit tracking. I also do my prayer list on here. And then there's a currently area at the bottom where I will do like a monthly spiritual check-in. This is a printable available in my shop. It is called the Faith Overview. So if you are interested in having something like this in your planner, you can check out my Etsy shop. I also do customizations, so if there's anything else you want to add in, we can talk about it via Etsy. I really have enjoyed having this spread in my planner. It's made it so much easier just to kind of have a command center for the month for my spiritual health and wellness. So I'm going to go ahead and start laying in those same items that I did on both the weeklies and the monthly using that background washi. And I think I'm going to stick with the horizontal display of the washi on these pages, just because I think it will fit a little bit better in amongst the functional areas on the overview spread. And just drop in a little bit of everything, including one of these like stamp label stickers, in each cluster some branches, and we'll also be adding in quotes and washi as we go along. And here's a good example of where I was thinking about what types of branches I'm using and where, and keeping the same vibes together. They were more full or more delicate. I'm also thinking too, I'll probably have enough to do another spread at some point with these branches. I don't want to have any of the duplicates left over, so I'm going to try to use anything that I haven't used yet, so I won't have to use those on a future spread. Again, just building clusters here, trying to keep things fairly low profile in some areas so they don't dip into functional space. And for the back page, I thought it would be fun to do this weekly faith challenge. It's another kind of happy planner sticker book option that has items that you can do or think about for your spiritual wellness each week. What I'm going to do is maybe add in a little bit of washi behind each of these prompts to pull in the theme color, since the vibe of the actual prompt stickers is a little bit different than what I have going on everywhere else. And because of that, I thought that the title was just not quite right. So I went ahead and put that back, and I'll save that for another weekly challenge and just put in a grateful quote here as a replacement. And really tried to rework this a little bit here at the top so that grateful is centered. And then we'll also move in a thankful over here on the overview spread. Just trying to get the layering right. It's a little bit weird because I want to add in all of the pieces, but I don't want them to conflict with each other, so it's a little tricky in some areas. But I think we've got something good there. Everything's looking decent. And okay, I think we're ready to move these guys on. I'm just going to put things where they work. I'm not going to worry about getting every little thing in each cluster here on the overview, just because I think it would be a bit of an overload to put all the items in each cluster. So we'll just move things over and see how it all turns out. I will say at this point, I was still thinking to add in some stamping ink at the end of this. So I'm just setting in all the stickers now. And then I was envisioning going back and putting in some stamps at the end. So I did want to leave some space or some breathing room for stamps at some point, which is what was in the back of my mind as I was building these clusters. And as I have them in, I do need to clean out any holes that are covered by the stickers. So I went ahead and did that. And now we will lay in the back page. We wanted to cover up this block of notes just so that it wasn't so dark behind the washi tape. I think that worked out nice. Go ahead and trim off this branch piece. Maybe try to reuse it here just to make it look a little fuller. And that worked out pretty well. We'll go ahead and drop in the bottom corner. Straighten things out. I couldn't really lay that in on the spread since there was a little bit of a piece missing there on the wax paper, but I've dropped it in now, and now we will put in the rest of the prompts to finish out the page. Not sure if I'm going to write something under these or what quite yet, but it will be nice to have those in mind and kind of figure out how to work those into my month. And I'll try to use up any trimmings that I can. Let me clean out these holes before I forget, because I know I'll get through the whole setup and then remember, oh yeah, I forgot to clean those holes, so I just went and did that real quick. And here's where I was thinking about those stamps. I think they would really look cute, but I think the black is going to really be too strong. And I didn't think it would work as well with another ink color, so that I kind of changed my mind on that. So instead, I went back to that small gratitude book and decided to bring in some of these little gold fleck clusters that I saw in there. And I think that adds a little more texture, which is what I was really looking for, without being too distracting with a bold black color. I'll also use my highlighters to add a little bit of color throughout this overview spread. Again, these will probably be the same colors you'll be seeing as the month goes through in my lettering area. And I will bring in more of the gold flecks here, as well as more of the marker. What I'm thinking to do here is just give a little more color where I'm going to be writing in the verses that I'm reading each day. So I'll do each day in its own color and then just repeat it on the as needed. And I'll use those brush pens to put those in. Just cleaning that up. Go ahead and add in a bit more of those gold flecks into the weeklies as well. I want every spread to have the same elements, like I said, so definitely want to bring those in on the weeklies. Just a few more to go, and we'll cut them up if I feel like it works a little better with the spread. Once I get all of those in, you guys, we will be done, friends. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also, too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Bye!